It's the Daily Dog.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Dog. Thanks for being with me today. I am glad that y'all are here for this one. It's a Throwback Thursday, which means I am accessing a previously recorded reaction and making it available here on YouTube. This was done for my Patreon back in June of last year. So in June of last year, for our Fan Favorites series, that month we were focused on our favorite road trip songs, and the members of our community put forth their submissions. We all voted on it, and the top voted submissions in that genre made it to our countdown video for that month. And two songs from the band Golden Earring made it into the countdown, and we listened to Radar Love and the Twilight Zone. And so I am excited to share with you my reaction to both of these songs, which I had heard before, but I hadn't realized what they were. And so I had a lot of fun listening to Radar Love and Twilight Zone by Golden Earring, and I am happy to share that with y'all now. But on we go, y'all. The next band is Golden Earring, and this is a band that I really don't know a whole lot about. And we also have two songs by this band, so I don't think I've ever reacted to them on the channel or on the Patreon. So why not go with two? And again, just as with the Allman Brothers, both of these tunes independently had a lot of buy-in from the community, so I put them both together because together they're less than 15 minutes, and I think we can fit them in here. So we have Radar Love and the Twilight Zone, and these songs come to us from Illume and Ikidu. Thanks, y'all. Illume says, there is one band I think of when I think road trip, and that band is Golden Earring. But which song? Their 1973 hit Radar Love is about driving, and the best definitely keeps one awake, especially the 6-minute album version, which I think I have. But their hit Twilight Zone / When the Bullet Hits the Bone, released 9 years later in 1982, shows the growth of the band over that near decade, and the mix is so much better. So I'm going with Twilight Zone / When the Bullet Hits the Bone. But if I was personally on a road trip, Radar Love would be played as I'm winding down for the night to help me stay awake until I hit my stop for the night. Twilight Zone would be played after lunch to ward off a food coma. I know about that. That's normally when we try to hit a Starbucks and load up on some caffeine. Ikidu adds, this is my absolute must driving song. It's definitely Radar Love by Golden Earring, as someone already suggested. Twilight Zone, maybe we could make it a double shot. Well, that is what we are going to do. So thanks, y'all, for sending these in. We're going to start with Radar Love, but first, Golden Earring is a Dutch band. They were founded in 1961, but they really didn't achieve their big breakthrough, their worldwide kind of claim to fame, until Radar Love was released 12 years later. This is one that I think I've heard, but I didn't really know what it was called. Another one of those. So Radar Love is from their 9th album called Moontan. It was released in 1973. It is written from the point of view of a truck driver who is trying to get home to his baby as soon as possible. We've got Barry Hay on lead vocals, flute, and saxophone, George Cummins on guitars, and Rinus Gerritsen on bass, synths, and keyboards. Caesar, oh my goodness, Tweederziek. Let's just call him Caesar Z on drums and percussion, and they are joined by Ilko Gelling on slide guitar for this track. So let's see what this one is about. Radar Love from Golden Earring. Here we go.
driving all night, my hands wet on the wheel.
I know this. This one I've heard.
There's a voice in my head that drives my heel. It's my baby calling, says I need you here.
This one would make my foot go lead,
It's
y'all.
4:30 and I'm shifting gear. When she is lonely and the longing gets too much.
When she is lonely and the longing gets too much, she sends a cable coming in from above. I don't need no phone. It's telepathic.
We've got a thing that's called red eye love. We've got a wave in the air.
It's called Bluetooth.
Red eye love.
Again, just an observation. We've been listening to a bunch of prog tunes, right? How many times have I counted out 5 or 7, you know, as meters? Not this time.
Brand leaves coming on strong. The road has got me hypnotized.
The road has got me hypnotized.
I'm spinning to a new sunrise. When I get lonely and I'm for sure
It was really cool as we were driving west into a sunset. The sunset lasted so much longer. One, it's this time of year, right? Close to the solstice. And so the sun is setting later and farther north in the sky in the northern hemisphere, and we're chasing it at, 75, 80 miles an hour. And it was just a lovely, lovely evening just to have a sunset that lasted like an hour and a half instead of, 10, 20 minutes. It's like The Incredibles. Oh, no, no. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, no. Think about that. Giacchino, I think, borrowed a little bit of that lick for the main lick in The Incredibles. It sounds really similar. Why the hell not? I had no idea that this was this particular band, you know?
No more speed, I'm almost there.
He's almost home, y'all.
Gotta keep cool now, gotta take care.
Gotta get to your baby intact.
Last car to pass, here I go. And the line of cars drove down real slow. And the radio played that forgotten song. Brenda Lee's coming on strong. And the newsman sang his same song. Oh, one more radar lover gone. When I get lonely and I'm sure
So he dies? He crashes before he gets home? This radar is strong. It transcends death, apparently.
Radar love.
Great road trip tune. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. The next one from Golden Earring is called Twilight Zone. Although I should stop and say, when Megan said, "Ooh, Radar Love, do you know that one?" And I was like, "Is that the one that goes, Radar Love, driving me mad, is making me crazy?" And Megan's like, "That's not the right song. You need to shut up." Or something to that effect. So yeah, I didn't know what it was called, but that makes sense. Radar Love. Let's see. On to the Twilight Zone. This is from the same band, Golden Earring, and it's we fast forward to 1982 and their album named Cut. This one was written by guitarist George Kooymans, who was inspired by The Bourne Identity, not the movie, the book by Robert Ludlum. So this came out in 82. I believe the book came out in 1980. And I don't think it was extremely well known at the time, but it tells this story, or the song tells the story of an espionage agent on the run from enemy spies. And as I read in, I was trying to find, like, what is the real connection to this Bourne stuff? Because I really enjoyed the movies. I have not read the books. And there is a passage apparently in this book where Jason Bourne refers to the Twilight Zone of non-agent or regular life, and with its freedoms and its pitfalls. And I didn't really quite catch the context, the full context of that quote, but apparently this had an effect on George, who then wrote this tune, and it has become one of the band's more recognizable tunes. So I'm not sure if I know this one. We'll see if it's one of these where I know the tune and not the title. But let's check it out. Twilight Zone by Golden Earring. Off we go. Big heavy drums.
Somewhere along in the hotel room, let the guy start to realize that eternal fate has turned his back on here.
There it is. B minor.
It's 2 a.m. The fear is gone. The sun's still warm.
One. How about that?
Yeah, there's a storm on the loose.
There's a storm on the loose, sirens in my head, wrapped up in silence. All circuits are dead, cannot decode.
My whole life spins into a frenzy. And I'm stepping into the twilight zone. This is the madhouse.
Flat 7.
My beacons can move
Flat 6.
moon and star. Where am I to go now that I've gone too far? And I'm stepping into the twilight zone. This is the madhouse. Feels like being alone. My beacons can move moon and star.
This isn't familiar to me. Cool.
I'm falling down a spiral, destination unknown. Double cross messenger, all alone.
Double cross messenger, all alone, can't get no connection, cannot get through. Where are you? Nice story. Such great music in this fan favorites. I'm enjoying myself immensely, y'all. I hope that you are as well. Not everything has to be pushing the limits of technicality and musical innovation, right? Sometimes we just need a song to accompany us on our journey that we can just relax into. This seems a bit too long, this section. When I'm trying to figure out as I'm putting together a piece, how long each section should actually be, how long the transition should be, I normally end up adding time because I haven't put in appropriate amounts of time for transitions. But sometimes we'll get caught up in a loop, and I think that they lose their momentum if they wait a little bit too long to start the next little bit of ear candy. In this instance, you're just soloing over one chord. In a lot of these extended solos that we heard from the Allman Brothers, they were soloing over 2 chords. This one's just a static B minor. But again, I can feel myself just being able to get lost in the groove of this and be able to think and do some really good thinking. Road trips are like that, right? You end up doing some of your best thinking, either on the can or behind the wheel, right? This also has a little bit of a ZZ Top vibe to me. In fact, if you would have asked me who wrote this or who performed it, I would have told you ZZ Top, not knowing who Golden Earring was. Six. Soon you will come to know when the bullet hits the bone, when the shit hits the fan, y'all. We can speculate all we want, but when it happens, then we'll know, right? wish the guitar solo was up in the mix a bit. It's a little buried to me. Great tune. If there was any way that I could have reacted to this and filmed this while listening in the car, I probably would have done it, because it would have been, a little bit, more interesting and like in the field recording, right? But I don't know if the road noise with our car is just too much to try to deal with. So my chair here will suffice just fine. Well, that's just a sampling of the entire video for that month on our fan favorites, where we were listening to our favorite road trip songs. And I gotta tell y'all that I am lucky that I haven't been listening to a bunch of these selections over the course of my driving history, because I would definitely have more speeding tickets in my in my record if I listen to all these fantastic tunes that just get you pumping and ready to go for the open road. And that's the great thing about our fan favorites series over on our Patreon. We're able to, on each individual month, pick a genre. We've done relationship songs, we've done songs by women, we've done songs with our favorite guitar parts in them, and stuff like this, road trip songs. So it becomes a really fun way for us to share some of our favorites in a specific genre or a topic, and build the community and listen to some great music. And so I was very pleased to share my reaction to Radar Love and Twilight Zone from Golden Earring, recorded all the way back in June of last year. Thanks y'all for tuning in today. This was fun. We'll see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.